Hey guys, this is Amir. Welcome back to Langley Prep. In the last video, we did intro to Desmos regressions. So in this one, we're going to do some more Desmos regressions. We're going to get a little bit more advanced here. So I guess without further ado, let's get started. So let's just do this first one. What percentage of 300 is 75? So we're going to start with a relatively easy one. What percent is just whatever percent. You can use any variable like P percent of, so what percent of 300? P percent of 300. So when you put in percent, it already puts the of. You can also do P and then type out percent, or do the percent symbol, it doesn't matter. So P percent of 300 is, instead of is, we're going to use the tilde symbol, shift, and the key to the left of the one key is 75. So P equals 25. You can also use, if you use X or Y, make sure when you do regression, it has to be X1 or Y1. So that's that problem. Answer's A, 25. This looks really difficult, but it's actually super easy with Desmos. The expression 6 times fifth root of 3 to the 5th x to the 45th times the 8th root of 2 to the 8th times x is equivalent to, so that is, we're going to put the tilde, ax to the b. So since we're using regressions, all the x's need to be x1s, where a and b are positive constants and x is greater than 1. What is the value of a plus b? Let's put that into Desmos. So 6, and the keyboard shortcut to fifth root, or any root actually, is nth, nthroot. You could put the root 5, 3 to the 5th times x1 to the 45th, and then click out of it. We're not going to add a slider since we're doing regression. Times, and we're going to do nth root again. The 8th root of 2 to the 8th times x1 is equivalent to, so I'm going to click out, do the tilde, ax1, ax to the b. So this, we're going to write ax1 raised, shift 6 to raise it to the exponent to the b power. It says x is greater than 1, so we're just going to put in the second row just x1 equals brackets, and we'll do 2 dot 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 10. So we're going to do a bunch of values greater than 1. And then what is the value of a plus b? 45.125. And if you want to put it in the fraction form, put that here and then click this. 361 over 8. So there's your final answer. 361 over 8. All right, this one's actually, again, another one that looks difficult, but when you use Desmos, it becomes really easy. First, let's read it. The expression 4x squared plus bx minus 45, where b is a constant, can be rewritten. So we're going to set this 4x squared plus bx minus 45. When it says can be rewritten, we're just going to say that that's equivalent, tilde hx1 plus x times x1 plus j. And then it says where h, k, and j are integer constants, which of the following must be an integer? So remember, integer is a whole number, can't be a fraction or decimal. It's just going to be a whole number, either negative or positive. Put this in. 4x1 squared plus bx1 minus 45 can be rewritten, so that's equivalent to hx1 plus k, x1 plus j. And again, see, it says x1 equals 1. We want this to work for multiple values of x, so I'm going to do something similar to what I did last time. I'm going to say 1 dot 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 10. Needs to work for all values of x. Which of the following must be an integer? Well, let's try the answer choices now, because it's giving us values for all these variables. So A would be B divided by H, Negative 10.25, that's not an integer. B over K, 0.911, that's not an integer. 45 over H, 11.25, not an integer. 45 over K, -1. So integer, anything that's basically a decimal is not an integer, fraction is not an integer, just any whole number. So the answer is D, 45. In the xy plane, a parabola has vertex 9, -14. So when I see this, I think of vertex form, which is y equals ax minus h squared plus k, where hk is our vertex. So they give us our vertex 9, -14. So instead of hk, our hk is 9, -14. So we can write y equals ax minus 9 squared minus 14. Again, we don't know what a is, and it says, so we know where it intersects. So if we have a parabola or an xy plane, and let's say 9, -14 is here. So this is the min. So it says it intersects at 2 points. So we know A has to be positive because it's upward facing. We don't know anything else about A. If the equation of the parabola is written in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are constants, which of the following could be the value of a plus b plus c? So yeah, we could definitely do this algebraically. I think doing it on Desmos will be faster. So we know y1 equals a x1 minus 9, because they give us the vertex 914 squared minus 14. And notice I didn't put a tilde here because I'm just putting the equation. I'm going to calculate it when it gives it to me in standard form. So I'm just putting the equation as is. I know a is, it has to be greater than 1 because, as we said, it's upward facing, so it's not going to be negative. So we can say like it's between 0.0001 and let's say 2 or whatever. And we'll get back to that later. Now we're going to put y1 tilde, we're going to put the equation in standard form. ax1 squared plus bx1 plus c. And then a plus b plus c says is 50. So if we slide this like to the lowest value, like 0.001, it's not 0, but I'm just getting as low as I can go. It goes to negative 3.9936. So it's never going to reach negative 14. And then basically the higher I go, the bigger a plus b plus c is. So if it can't be lower than negative 13.9, we can get rid of answer choice C, B, and A. So it can only be D. So that's that. Function f is defined by f of x equals negative a to the x power plus b, where a and b are constants. In the xy plane, the graph of y equals f of x minus 15, so it's shifted down 15, has a y-intercept at 0, negative 99/7. The y-intercept means when x equals 0. This right here, negative a to the 0, because it's the y-intercept, x has to be 0, plus b, and it's shifted down 15, minus 15, so that is going to equal negative 99/7. And it says the product of a times b equals 65/7. So you can actually do this pretty easily in Desmos. 2 brackets, tilde, 2 brackets. So I'm going to put the first equation, so a raised to the 0 power, negative a to the 0 power plus b, and it's shifted down 15, that equals negative 99/7. And we know that the product of a times b is 65/7. What is the value of a? As you can see here, the value of a is 5. So the answer is 5. Sorry, this isn't a regression problem, but I guess now that it's on here, let's just go ahead and do it. It's actually pretty helpful to know how to do absolute value problems on Desmos. The key is to get to look like, the v, the absolute value. without solving it is just to put everything on one side. So absolute value of x minus 5 and then subtract 10. If you set it equal to 0, it doesn't really give you that v. So if you get rid of the 0, then you get that absolute value graph. And it says, what is one possible solution? So you have -5 and 15. So either one works, either -5 or 15. So there we go. So that wasn't a regression one, but hopefully you learned something about doing absolute value graphs on Desmos. So it says 210 is p% greater than 30. What is the value of p? Okay, before we do this, if I wanted to say 5% greater than 30, that'd be 30 times 1 plus 5 over 100. That'd be 31.5. If I said it's 10% greater than 30, that's 1 plus 10 over 100. If I said it's 30% greater than 30, I would put 30 over 100. If I wanted to say it's 30% less than 30, I would change that plus to a minus. But this says 210 is, 210 is, instead of is, we're going to do the tilde because we want Desmos to solve it, is p% greater than 30. So instead of 30%, we're going to just put p. What is the value of p? 600. And that's it. Hopefully you learned something. These were a little bit more advanced than the last video. Guess I'll maybe do a few more in the next video. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.